So you guys were involved in the Obama campaign. Maybe tell me a story about how you got what you're doing and then back up to where you came from.
Yeah. So it's an internal private social network for an organization. Okay. And it's based around sort of our key insight, which has to do with hierarchical social networking. That if you can map out the structure of an organization, then you can target information more effectively within it, right? Some things are really useful for your manager to know about. Some things are really useful for the team that you manage to know about. There are certain pieces of information like a best practice which may not be valuable to anybody who works inside the office that you do, but could be valuable to somebody who's working in China because they do exactly the same job as you. It's enterprise social with sort of a ton of data involved. And metrics and tracking of people getting to goals and measuring people's impact on the organization on the whole. Much of like what we did for the Obama campaign when we were measuring, calls and voters talked to. Now we do the same thing, but we do it for hospitals and talking about patient infection and really cool metrics in different industries like that.
So what does it look like? And
let's take a look.
So what do we have here? What are we seeing here?
So this is the dashboard. So when you log into National Field, this is what you see. The first thing is a stream that'll look pretty familiar to people that are familiar with some of the tools you were talking about, such as Facebook and Twitter. You'll notice the emphasis on some of the data things here inside of the stream as well. So I've logged in as someone. These are some of the people on my team. Right in the stream, I can see I can publish things. I can immediately jump in to broadcast out an announcement. So anyone that's below me in the organization would see that. It would stick at the top of the stream.
Now, when you said below you, how did it know that? Did you have to enter in?
Right, so whenever a user jumps into National Field, whenever they're invited or they join, they give a few simple pieces of information. Sort of how on other networks now it's asking you, like, which list are you in? So it's sort of like that, except we're asking you your role inside of the organization. So what job do you fulfill? And then where you are inside of the organization. So we've mapped out the structure. You're selecting the group, basically, that you're in. So then I jump in, and one of the things I'm seeing here is Lisa has 15 sales leads, right? So that was the number that was pushed in. I can see that had she pushed in things previously in the week, I'd be able to see those as well. I can hover over these charts pretty easily. I can switch to different metrics as well. And that's animating in right here inside of the stream. If I'm concerned about her performance.
Now when you said pushed in, where did they get pushed in from?
Right, so there are a couple different ways. One way is they could self-report it, so you can create these metrics for different people. They can say, this is what I did. A lot of organizations do at the end of the day. It's like, what did you do today? But then we also have private API now, where people can begin to push in metrics. So here it's pushing in from an external system, and it's a job that's running.
I see a lot of charts.
Yeah, so this is really cool. One of the things that we learned during the campaign was that competition inside of an organization is really healthy. It encourages people to do better. So one of the things up here is the leaderboard, right? So for sales lead, we can see that John has had 80 today, right? Yeah. Which is the most in the organization. If I wanted to know how he's doing so well, click on his name, go to his profile and say, hey John, how are you doing so well? Maybe you could give me some advice. I could check out his best practices that he's been sharing, things like that. I could switch between different metrics that are the most important for the organization. You could see which groups are doing well, right? So we can see that the sales division is doing the best, things like that. If I'm concerned, I can immediately, write a comment and say, hey Lisa, concerned that you aren't meeting your goals, things like that.
Yeah.
Begin to scroll down the feed, some of the common things that you find in social tools such as events, can see those, pictures from those. Best practices that are being shared from people across the organization, makes the organization better. If someone else is learning something, then we should share that with everyone. And if I'm, if they're doing in a similar role as me, then I should see those best practices because they're probably relevant to me. So we put those right in the stream. And then one of the other cool things that we like is another app that we have on top of the platform called Ups and Challenges. So this is something at the end of each day we have people stop and reflect and say what went well today, what didn't go well, and what could change tomorrow. And that's something that filters all the way through the path of communication that we built out with the hierarchical social graph all the way to the top of the organization. People below you don't see it. It's kind of a private way to say, I'm concerned about this, right? And you start to have these conversations where organizations every day, people at the top are reaching for their smartphones, going through them and saying, wow, people in this area of the organization are really complaining about this. Like, we should do something about that. And it's actionable intelligence every single day about what people are thinking is going well and what's not going well inside of the organization.
Now, why do you get that kind of data where like Salesforce Chatter or Yammer or even Google Plus doesn't get that?
Right, so it's...
Is there an affordance? Is there a question you're asking? I noticed at the top you asked, what are you working on? That's
so that's one of the ways to get right into the stream, but we also have something here called Submit Report. So whenever you do that, people can self-report data. What day are they reporting for? It defaults to the current day. If you have any metrics or numbers that aren't being pushed in, you can report those here. But then the other area here, what we call UPS challenges. So we ask every day, type this in, what went well, what didn't go well. And then save that, and it creates the feed item. It gets sent out in emails the next day, and then people can see it right here in the stream. So we can immediately start to say, what isn't going well, what is going well, have conversations around that, and then start to adapt the organization straight from there. You're uploading some of the other common social things, sharing links, uploading files, sharing those with specific people in the organization. I only want to share it with people that are in this part of the organization and below, or I only want to share it with people that do this job. Because we have the hierarchical social graph, it makes it super easy to do that right inside of the tool. And then some of the other common tools such as profiles. So let's go over to John's profile and see how he's been doing. And because John has goals set over here on the right sidebar, we can see, oh, for leads, he's already reached his goal. He's 133% to goal. That's really fantastic, right? But he's not yet there when it comes to some of the other sales leads, right? It's not quite to his goal yet.
Yeah.
And then we can see charts as data has been pushed in for specific dates. Then we can see those there, see how he's doing over time, and comment and have a conversation around those things right inside of the tool.
Thanks for showing it to me. It's pretty cool. I like your data-centric approach, because that's an approach I haven't seen yet, like Salesforce chatters over there, and you don't see the numbers and the charts and the gaming that can happen here.
Sure.
Where can I learn more about it?
You can go to nationalfield.com and learn more about us. There's a lot of information there.